Section 1 Lobs Girls. Read this story about a girl and her loyal companions. Some people choose their dogs, and some dogs choose their peoples. The Pegley family had no say in choosing of Lob. It began on the beach, the summer when Shandy was 5, Dawn, her brother 12, and the twins were 3. Shandy was short for Alexandra. On this summer's day, she was playing peacefully, reading a comic. Father, Bert, Penguin, and Dawn were up on the hard painting. The bottom boards of the boat in which father went fishing and mother Jane Pengley was making puddings. Little did they guess how soon that state on things would be changed by the largest new member who was going to erupt in their midst. Sandy rolled into her back to make sure that the twins were not climbing on slippery rocks. At the same moment, a large body struck her forcibly in the midriff, and she was covered by flying sand. Instantly, she shut her eyes and felt the sand being wiped off her face by something that seemed like a warm rock, damp and fallen. She opened her eyes and looked. It was a tongue. Its owner was a large and bunchy young Alsatian or German Shepherd with tops, eyes, black tipped prick ears, and thick soft coat and bushy black tipped tail. Look at here. ये है dog German Shepherd. उसके आईज एंड उसकी टेल्स के बारे में बताया गया है. लॉब शॉर्टेड मैन. लॉब कम हियर. हिज ऑनर अ ग्रे हेयर्ड मैन with a lamb walked over as quickly as he could and seized him by the collar. I hope he didn't give you fright, the man said to Sandy. He meant in play. He's only young. Oh no, I think he's beautiful, said Sandy. She picked up a bit of driftwood and threw it. Love went after it like a sand-colored bullet and come back with the stick and gave it to Sandy. For Sandy too, it was love at first sight, and when she and the twins joined father and Dawn to go home for tea, they cast many backward glances at Love being led away by his master. I wish we could play with him every day, teased. Why can't we? Said Tim. Sandy explained because Mr. Dozeworth, who owns him, is from Liverpool and he is only staying at the Fisherman's Arms Still Standard. So it was a Cornish fishing village where the Penguin family lived with rocks and cliffs and strips of a beach and little round harbor and palm trees growing in the gardens of the little whitewashed stone house. The village was approached by a narrow, steep-twisting hill road and graduated by a notice that said, "Low gear for first to second miles, dangerous to cycles." The Penguin children went home thinking they had seen the last of Lob, but they were much mistaken. The whole family was playing cards by the fire in the front rooms after supper when there was a loud thump and a crush china in the kitchens. My Christmas puddings extremely clean and rat out. It was a Lob who had bounced in through the open kitchen window, Lob stood on his hind legs and placed Sandy's face with links. Then he did the same for the twins who shrieked with joy. Where does the friends of yours come from? Inquired Mr. Pangvili. He is staying at the Fisherman's Arms. I mean, his honor is. Then he must go back there, find a bit of string. Sandy he tied to his collars. I wonder how he found his way here. Mr. Pangvili said. Sandy explained about their afternoon's game on the beach. Lob's honor thanked Mr. Pangvili for bringing him back. Jan Pangvili warned the children that they had better not encourage Lob anymore. The next day was a Saturday. Sandy has formed out that Mr. Dodsworth was to catch the 9:30 train. She went out securely down to the station's seashore. Mr. Dodsworth get on the train, accompanied by the unhappy-looking Lob with dropping tears and tails. Then she saw the train slice away. Sandy walked home miserably. A week passed. Then one evening, suddenly his story was representing itself. There was a crush from the kitchen. Jane Pangvili leaped up, but Sandy was ahead of her mother. With eyes like a star, she had darted into the kitchen, where she and Lob were hugging one another in frenzy of joy. Good heavens! Exclaimed Jane. How in the world did he get here? He must have walked, said Sandy. Look at his feet. They were worn and dusty. One had a cut on the pad. They ought to be bathed, said Jane Pangvili. Said Sandy. Run a bowl of warm water, white, get disinfectant. Your dad can get the address from the fisherman's tomorrow. In the meantime, he'd better have a long drink and good meal. Lobs was very grateful for the meal and having his feet washed. Then he flopped down on the hard rug and slept with his head on Sandy's feet. Here he had walked on the way from Liverpool to Cornwall, which is more than 400 miles. The next day, Lob's honorist Dodsworth arrived to take his pet home. That parting was worse than the first. Lob whined. Dawn walked out of house. The twins burst out crying, and Sandy crept up to her bedroom and lay feeling as if she were bruised all over. Jane Pangvili took them all into Plymouth to see the circus on the next day, and the twins crept up a little, but nothing could cure Sandy's sore heart. In 10 days, time Lobs was back, lamely this time, with a torn ear and patch missing out of his furry coat, as if he had met and tangled with an enemy or two in the course of his 400 miles walk. But Pangvili ranged up Liverpool again. Mr. Dodsworth said, I can't spare away from my works. Pulls idles time in police stations and traffic newspapers advertisement. I am too old for these ups and downs. I think, Mr. Pangvili, that it's your family he wants to stay with. You may have his as a gift. Alexandra's father looked at his daughter's swimming eyes. Well then, Mr. Dodsworth, he said briskly, Basically, we well overjoyed and you can be sure lobs has come to good home. So that was how Lob come to live with the Penguin family. Everybody loved him. He loved them, but them all. But he was Sandy's dog. He slept by her bed and followed her everywhere. 9 years went by. Look at. In the course of 9 years, Lob changed less than Sandy as he went into her teens. He became a little slower and a little stiffer. So there was a touch of grey on his nose, but he was a still handsome dog. He and Sandy still loved one another devoutly. One evening in October, it was a wet, windy dusk when the children come home from school. Jan Pangvili said, Sandy, your aunt Rebecca says she is lonesome because Uncle Will Hawkins has gone out traveling and she wants you to go and spend evening with her. Can I take a Lob with me? You know, Aunt Becky doesn't really like dogs, but I suppose she'll have to put up with him. Mr. Pangvili signature Sandy fastened Lob's lead to his collar and set off Aunt Becky cottage, which was 5 minutes climbs up step hills. The wind was howling through and shoulders of boats down up on the hard. ओके एंड ये वाली जो स्टोरी है वो हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन करूँगी इसके नेक्स्ट वीडियो में.